Hello again and welcome to a new video. This is our October 2016 66 plate BMW M2. This has got the DCT auto gearbox. It's covered 40,340 miles with full BMW service history, which will show you all the paperwork for that and inside the car. The vehicle is finished in Alpine white. It's got some stunning carbon fibre body trims on it, which really lift the vehicle. Now I'm going to try and capture that. The light in here is all over the show today, with the clouds outside. Now the headlights are flickering on the video. I don't know if it shows at your end, but they're not flickering to me, basically. I think it's something to do with the resolution of the camera or something, or the speed it picks up. It just flickers on the camera. Now, paintwork wise, the vehicle is in exceptional condition. We have had the front bumper redone professionally by a very good paint shop that we use, as do most of the local dealers in the area, main dealers. And that was basically because the flat section down here is where they pick up stone chips, and we could have just touched it in, but it just looks so perfect now at the front. And the whole car, as always, has been machine polished and detailed to a really high level. Now, if I come down low, we've got those lovely black gloss trims in the front. The headlights are not peppered at all, a couple of very minor. There you go, there's that flashing, but it's not actually flashing in real life. So the bumper is immaculate now. And we've got these like little wings down at the side here. And they are proper carbon fibre wings. They're not fake or anything like that. If I come round with my squeaky shoes, get that in focus. And I'm pretty sure these are all BMW, because you can tell by the quality. Let's just come back up. Let me show you the headlights there. And if we come up onto the bonnet, I think there are a couple of very minor, honest stone chips, which were very, very small. Let's just wipe that bit of fluff off the top there. Just try and get it a bit brighter. As I say, it's very difficult with the light in here. I'm hoping it's going to come out a bit brighter than what I'm seeing. But there are no nasty chips on the bonnet. It's got a lovely shine. Unfortunately, with the sun today and our skylights are slightly yellow, it just changes the light slightly. So let's come back out, take a look around the front of the car, and it looks so sharp now. It looks actually quite good on the camera with it flashing, but as I say, that's only on the camera. Now, all of the wheels on this are in immaculate condition. I'm not too sure if the previous owner had had them done, but they look really nice. They've actually got like a sort of a dusting of black on the diamond cut section as well, which I'll show you in a sec. Just want to show you down the side of the car and show you that all the panels are really sharp, no ripples, not had any damage or anything. Got carbon fibre wing mirrors, which I'll come to in a minute. Sorry about my squeaky shoes and on the floor. Got a good set of Michelin Super Sport tyres. You can just see down the side of the car on this side. Bring you down, and you can see the wing just before the rear wheel there. So I've got them at the front, and then also the diffuser at the back. This car also has the M Performance exhaust system with the Bluetooth button to put it into what they class as race mode. All of the roof, no marks on there, no bird dropping stains, just a little bit of fluff. Let's wipe that off. Obviously privacy glass at the back, and then the M Performance carbon fibre spoiler. Let's try and get that in focus. really struggling. But what you can tell, if you see all this stuff on eBay, you can tell the difference a mile away, because the stuff on eBay is very ripply, and this has got a really smooth finish, and you know it's genuine. Now let's just come back out, show you the side profile of the car. There we have it. And I'll show you the wing mirrors. It looks so sharp, this car. There we go. So when you're checking out carbon fibre, if you look really closely into it, I don't know if we're going to be able to do it on the camera, but you can actually see the weave in it. And then the second thing you want to look at is the finish. Now they're always slightly orange peely because of the carbon fibre, the way it sits. But on the cheap stuff, it will be very, very ripply. And we've got the M Sport brakes with the drilled discs in there. And if you look at the diamond cut surface, it's like a smoke sort of finish. I think they've got like a slight dusting of black, but it looks really good on the car. And then you've got those M Sport brakes. Nice black M2 badges on the side. Come to the rear. Plenty of life left in the tyres. Like I say, all the wheels are immaculate, and all of this trim is properly fitted. When I say that, it's pretty rigid. It's been fitted correctly, probably by the main dealer. And there's no damage on it either, which is nice, because sometimes they get chipped and then they blister up. Let's come round and we'll come back to the rear of the car. Let's do the other side. So all round the filler cap, no scratches. And then if we come down, look at the wheel on this side, again, immaculate. It's a bit brighter this side because the skylights, and then the carbon fibre trim there. Come to the front. Again, all nice and immaculate, and the carbon fibre down at the front there. And the mirrors are immaculate. Let's just come back out. See if I can get back far enough. There we go. So that's this side of the car, driver's side. Now let's just take a walk around the back again, because this is where we've got, now these are really expensive to buy, these M Performance exhausts, and it's also got the carbon fibre diffuser. So the whole diffuser around the exhaust and the exhaust tips are all carbon fibre. All of the rear bumper. We've got rear camera as well, just up under there. You can see the back of the car in really nice condition. I'm just going to go down onto my knees, and you'll see underneath, I'll get that in focus, M Performance. And it's a valve exhaust system, and inside the car we have a Bluetooth device which changes the exhaust system note, and it does that by opening a valve on the back, which we'll come back to. We've got the LED lights under the door handles, and then if we open up the doors, we've got puddle lights down at the bottom. All of the door card in lovely condition. Got some elegant, I kept getting this word mixed up. Let's call it suede finish, because I keep mixing the name up for some reason. With blue stitching, HARMAN KARDON sound system, and the trim inside. This isn't carbon fibre. This is like a moulded looking like carbon fibre trim. I'm sure some people describe it as carbon fibre, but it's not carbon fibre. We've got electric seats and electric lumbar for your back, and electric bolster to inflate the sides of the seats. Now if we look, let's try and zoom out a bit. The seats are in really nice condition. And that nice contrasting stitching. All of the interior of the car, as you can see, we've got that Bluetooth device just down there where the cup holders are. All of the trim around the gear stick, in exceptionally nice condition. We've got heated seats, climate control, professional media. We look in the back. The seats are actually electric as well. You can move them forward from here. In fact, let's move that forward a bit more. The back of the front seats, again, lovely condition. Just going to bring you around. And try and keep this in focus. As I say, the back seats really don't look like they've been sat in. Centre armrest. I'm pretty sure the seats might fold down. We'll check that out when we go to the boot. So all in really nice condition. Just trying to show you as much as I can. You can move that seat back like so. You see, exceptionally clean in there. Let's come round to the boot. Now, before I do open the boot, if you look at that boot lid, no marks, no scratches, really lovely condition. Just trying to get, it's funny how different cars of different colours in the showroom shown up differently. Now let's just give you an overview of the boot. And then if we come down and look along the top of the rear bumper, if you look inside where all the hinges are, and all up and around, just how tidy and clean the car is. And this type of vehicle, they always get a few more, you get a few more owners on performance cars, because obviously people like to own them and change their mind and go on to something else. But you can just tell by looking at this how well it's been looked after by its keepers. And I think it may well have been a demonstrator initially. And the seats do drop down. You've got the handles at the top, either side, that release the boot. And then underneath, got the foam kit just in the packaging there, and the pump, battery, first aid and locking wheel nut. So let's close that down. Come round to the driver's side door. Just looking down the driver's side door edge, there is no damage on that edge. I've checked it all out. There's no scratches or ding dents. Let me just turn these lights off. We've got electric folding mirrors as well, which will probably have the auto dip on the left hand side. Really nice and clean. If we look down the door edge here as well, it's not had anything jammed. We've got the folding mirrors, as I say. HARMAN KARDON sound system, electric driver's seat with memory. And if you look at the trim and the seals and all where the badges are, all in really nice condition. Driver's seat, little M logo at the top there, all of the bolsters And the gentleman basically part exchanged this vehicle, and he's gone for an absolutely beautiful X3 M40i that we had with a very big spec on. And then we've also got driving assistant package. We've got the lane assist and collision control. So it's a really nice spec car for its age. Flip those lights. If you look at the steering wheel, the condition, let's just turn that interior light off. Get you a more true colour. There we go. Now what I'm talking about is the condition of the leather is really nice. Come up on the top. There's no dig marks, no nasty bits. We've got speed limiter, cruise control. And if you look at the stitching, look how sharp it is. It's not grubby at all. Really, just bring you in a bit. There you go. Look how sharp that is. Really struggling. There we go. With the lighting. Okay, let's jump in. I think what we'll do, we'll start her up. Let's have a listen. So that's the cold start. So we're just let it warm up. Let's put these lights on. So there we have 40,340 miles. All nice and let's just turn this fan down a little bit. And then we have the professional media in the car, which we'll come back to in a second. Dual climate control. And the other nice thing is all of the black gloss and the, you know, the screens in here, they're not all scratched up. It's just a smudge on that. There we go. All the buttons are in really nice condition. As you can see, I'm really struggling with that light outside. We've got it on screen saver. Let's see if we can get rid of that. If I can remember where it might be. It might be under... see, as you can see, we've got intelligent safety there. That's the collision warning. So it's not in this one. Displays, control display, screensaver off. There we go. So let's go back to the beginning. We won't get the clock now. So we've got all of these tiles here. On the left, we've got our selection for all the media, DAB, FM, AM, music collection, phones, which we'll take off. In fact, manage iPhones. Very easy to delete these. Delete device. iPhone 2. Delete device. There we go. They're done. Snapping. No device connected. I'm not too sure what that is. I wonder if that's Apple CarPlay. When we do the pictures, I'll check and see if there is anything. So we've got the navigation, address input. Let's go in here. We can write on the iDrive wheel down here, which has got all the shortcuts on. So you've got shortcuts for media, communication, menu, map, nav, and we can just write with our finger on here. So if we're going to put our postcode here at Prestige Diesels, we can just go P. Oh no, can we write? Ah, maybe that's not selected either. So if we go into, well, we'll come back to that, but I think that will be in here under displays, control, no, not that one. I'm pretty sure, oh, touchpad, there we go. There we go. So let's go back to map. over to the left, enter new destination, address input, and then we can write. So if you've picked one of these cars up and you didn't know how to do that, you can do now. 3. Now to put a space, do a line from one side to the other, and that puts a space in. Sorry about that. And then a 5 needs to be quite square. And then that'll take you, and then there we go, we're in Venture Court. Start route guidance. And obviously we're in that area. Now to cancel it, you can just go straight in there, stop route guidance, there we go. And all the sub menus down the side, map views for example, perspective, and again I do this in most of the videos, you can save these screens on these buttons if you just run your finger along the top there. So we can save that map view basically. And then if we want the map view going straight down, which is in direction of travel, we could save that on number 7. So instead of having to go in there, we could just press number 8 now, and it'll change the view. We can also save telephone numbers in there. Go scroll through to the telephone number you want, and then basically select that number, and when it comes up on the screen, press and hold the button, and it will save there. So we've got all of our media, we did that. If we go back to menu, navigation, connected drive, this is where you can have all the BMW apps and manage them in there. My vehicle is where all your settings are. For example, you've got your lights, interior lighting, change the colour, sport is white, and classic is an orange colour. You can turn the brightness up, it's on maximum there. Exterior lighting, you can change your indicators, home lights. I don't know why you'd want it on that long, so let's reduce it to 10. And then you've got your doors and keys. So we've got comfort entry, so basically if the unlocking button is pressed twice, all the windows will open on the vehicle. Relock automatically and so forth there. We did the speed warning, so you can set your speed warning. Configure sport. So this is where you can select it to change both the drive chain and the chassis, that's the suspension and the power from the vehicle, or just one or the other. Because using, in fact we will do this now in fact, the driver mode button, which is just down here, let me just try and get that. Basically it says comfort through to sport. Can't quite get that in focus for some reason. There we go, comfort through to sport. So if we just come back up here, we select comfort. It will also show you on the dash here. So if we go down, okay, so on most cars you would have Economy Pro. You don't obviously get that on an MO2. So comfort will be a more relaxed drive with softer suspension, and then Sport and Sport Plus will give you the shock absorbers are basically have a valve on them, so they can select how much fluid it pumps into them to make them stiffer or not. So you can then configure what it will change there. And then the other one, Sport Displays, gives you this display here. So if I rev the engine, you can see that will come up. And Sport Plus will just increase the responsiveness of the car and shut down some of the traction control, which will then show up down here on the dash. I wouldn't recommend it in wet conditions, but by pressing and holding the traction button, it will then shut off. If you look down here, the second part of the traction control, so that would be completely raw or driving assist turned off. Just put that back on. Now we have the DCT gearbox. So basically this is a manual gearbox with dual clutches, and one shaft will have basically first gear, third gear, fifth gear, and the other will have second, fourth, etc. And it can flip from one shaft to the other with the dual clutch system, and that's why they change gears so quickly. It sort of almost throws you forward. So a very fast gear change. You can use plus and minus on the gearbox here, or you can use the paddles. And the paddles on these, you'll see that the height of them, they come up quite a lot higher than the normal paddles, which are quite low. So going back onto here, is there anything else? So going back in here, vehicle status, so tyre pressures. When we drive away, you'll get the tyre pressures and the temperature. Try and get this, there you go. Oh, maybe not. If I come in a bit closer, maybe. There we go. So when we drive off, we will get pressures and temperatures, so you'll know when your tyres have warmed up. Oil level, check control, service requirements. So brake fluid, we'll get that done actually, so we'll update that. We'll get that brake fluid done because it's due quite soon, so that'll be done. Oil change isn't due to the end of next year. Rear brake pads have got plenty on, but we will, when it goes in for the brake fluid, it'll get a full inspection and get plugged in to make sure everything is done. Now if we go right to the beginning here, this is the running in service, so that's important to know that's all been done. And then this will be oil and microfilter. This should be a brake fluid, yeah, brake fluid, emissions inspection, and then the next one will be oil. Bigger service on this one, including spark plugs. So the big service has been done there at 30, just under 31. And then brake fluid again, because they're every 2 years. And then that's another oil service. So the next one, as you can see, will be the brake fluid, and we'll get that done. And it won't be due anything then till next year. So that will all be up to date. The vehicle's just been finished in the showroom, so that's why I wanted to get the video done. So all that's on there. Now, if we look, all nice and clean there. We have got paperwork. We've got a little bit old school. We've got the phone cradle in there. I'm not too sure what phone it is. It is an iPhone by the looks of it. Snap-in adapter. But there is a USB. I can get it in focus. There you go. And an auxiliary in there as well. Right, let's just come back out. Now this little device here is the Bluetooth device and performance for the exhaust system. Now I don't know if you can read it, but on the top there, if I can get in close enough, it just says double click for track mode. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to open up the door. Now, we are in normal comfort mode. So that's normal comfort mode. I'm going to put it into Sport Plus. Straight away, you can hear the burble. And then now what we're going to do is a double click. Now I think that worked. It's because I was looking at the camera. I don't know if that's turned it. I might have just shut it again, so. There you go. I just heard that open. Oh wow. Let's just jump out. It sounds absolutely amazing, and that's I'm just going to let that idle before I turn it off. I'm going to pull the bonnet. Right, just let that idle for a few seconds more before we shut it down, because essentially what we've just done is spun the turbo right up, and I just want it to settle down before we turn it off, because the oil feed to the turbo will shut down. Now to turn it off, I've just heard it click. I couldn't see the, oh there you go. I couldn't see the light. There's a light that flashes around here in red to let you know it's done it. So that's, turn that off now. Fans are just shutting down, so we can pop the bonnet up. Sorry, we lost focus there. Let's get the focus back. So it's now a lot quieter in the showroom. There we go, let's get this into focus. So the engine bay in really nice condition. It's all been cleaned very carefully with maintenance spray. I'll just take you around the front first. Go. Whoops. And then so a really lovely clean engine bay. If we look up underneath. Now the M cars, for some reason, they don't have the matting under here. And basically what the M cars also don't have is between the sort of the axles and the chassis, most cars, to stop vibration, will have like a rubber gasket, for want of a better word, and just sort of cushions out, whereas an M car, everything's sort of bolted straight together to give it a much more sturdier, rigid feel. So it looks really, really nice under there. Let's just come up. Let me just flick the camera up and that, see if it'll self level. There you go. I'm hoping that's in focus. It's always really hard to tell when you're looking at the screen. So lovely and clean under there. Just push it down nice and firmly so it just slams into place basically. You don't want to be pushing on the bonnet because you can put dents in the bonnet. If you put it down gently and then start pushing on it, it's quite a big panel, so you don't want to put dents in the bonnet. So there we have it, our M2. Now, very quickly, I'll just show you. I've showed you the service history in the car, but also, we've also got all the receipts. For, I think there's 95% of the receipts there. I haven't actually gone through and checked every single one. And then, obviously, we've checked all the spec on the car with a spec check. So we know exactly what it's got. Now, I didn't show you the rear camera on the video there, but it has got rear camera, as I showed at the back of the car. I just didn't put it into reverse while we're in it. So thank you very much for watching the video. If you've got any questions, please give us a call. It's not very often you find them with the M Performance exhaust on, so in this condition with nice mileage. So I don't think it's going to hang around for too long, this one. So get in touch. And our interest rate currently is 9.9 with Santander. That changes the first day of next month, but if you get in before the end of this month, you'll still get it at 9.9. We've got some fantastic warranty packages that you can extend right up to 4 years on the vehicle. So if you want to know any more about that, get in touch as well. Okay, take care, enjoy, bye.